gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to introduce to some and present to others not only a master of politics, but a master of morality as well. None other than Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson, BAFBF, Black Americans for a Better Future chairman and Pulitzer Prize nominee. You can find him at Raynard 1223. Good evening, sir. It is a glorious pleasure to sit at your feet once more.
Yes, it is.
And of course, the great Bonnie Williams shouts out to you, and Mary Brockman as well. They shout out to you this evening.
Yes, they do.
I want to start off tonight with a very simple question: is Bubba Wallace the new Jussie Smollett?
Well, I put his situation in a different situation simply because he never made any accusation of the news. The media took what they found and they ran on it. So I think the difference being Bubba Watson never made any allegations of anything. And again, you give the media an inch, they want to be a ruler, and they just went way off the deep end, and that was a simple explanation. And now the media is trying to switch the narrative from, oh, this is racism at its highest to, we're still racist, though.
Yeah, exactly. But come on, Raynard. On June 7th, he wore a T-shirt at a race in Atlanta that says "I can't breathe," and he had been pushing for the removal of the Confederate flag. He knew what the temperature was in the room before he put the fish fry on. He understood exactly what was going on, so he knew he didn't have to say anything about an allegation. But if you tell somebody after knowing that throughout American cities, black people who are committing suicide are now doing it on trees, and people
are kid, on my breast and get some milk, and I thought you were ready for Gerber's or some Similac, but again, you're trying to stumble into the truth, but as usual, you're showing that you're incapable of stumbling properly, so let me help you stumble properly.
Help me stumble.
This is all about bringing corporate dollars into NASCAR, who have never given before the corporate sponsor. Bubba Watson is going to have sponsorships for his racing team for the next 15, 20 years from companies that he never dreamed of ever being able to get access to. So funding going forward will not be an issue until the liberals are using it to prove that they're not racist by, hey, we got Mikey, we got a black guy. Now, if they wanted to take this alleged racial incident with the news and really wanted to make that change, as my boy Michael Jackson once told me, here's what they would do. How many executives does NASCAR have in the corporate suite? 0.
Yeah.
How many black drivers do they have? 1. So where is all this kumbaya around race? But yet you look at their leadership and that board of directors and their profit, it seems to be is white. So once again, you have elitist liberals using a black situation to benefit them, but they put a black face on it and keep smiling.
There you go. But does he share any responsibility at all for this? Because I still think he's Jussie Smollett. I mean, he's been in racing.
I totally disagree, because remember, Wallace made no accusation. He said, hey, we found this in our garage when we came in. That's all he said. And now, to me, that was a statement of fact. What he said actually was the case. Now, who did it and how did it get there? We just found out today. So it wasn't like, in my view, that Wallace was going around. See, I told you, when I took a stand, all the Yahoos and the pro-Confederate flag NASCAR supporters were going to come out and be racist. He never said that. He just stated what he knew at the time. That was a news found in his garage. So he didn't fan the flames, in my view.
I'm going to disagree with you. It's not often that we disagree, but I'm going to disagree with you. He used this moment to justify his erroneous desire to remove the Confederate flag from NASCAR. And everyone bowed. Huh?
That was not what you asked me.
What?
You
Okay.
asked me whether he another Jesse Smollett. And
Well, yes,
I said no.
Well, he's
what
another.
you just described, I would agree with. He did use this unfortunate incident that the media ran ahead of the curve on for his own benefit. There's no question about that. No question.
Well, Jesse was going to do the same thing, except he got caught.
No. Jesse Smollett, he accused someone of committing a felony.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Yeah, but okay.
He didn't accuse anyone. He didn't say person A put this news in my garage or person B. He said we found this when we came in this morning.
But I mean, if you put a rope up in a tree right now, what would people say? It was a white person who did it, was trying to lynch a black person. That is the atmosphere that we're in. He took advantage of that. He's a Jussie Smollett, Raynard. He's Jussie Smollett, NASCAR style.
Yeah, you have proven to be wrong. I have thus spoken, thus shall it be.
It shall be that way.
Yes, I'm the holy mother in this particular conversation.
You darn Skippy. One word, that's it. What did I say? I thought that's what I said. Sean Talcum X King came out earlier this week and said that because you have a white Christ up in your church, that the buildings deserve to be burned. I got to ask you here, sir, about Talcum X. He normally sends out the warning sign of what's going to come weeks ahead. Is BLM and Antifa planning on destroying churches at this point?
Oh, I think that's a foregone conclusion. Look at what they did at the church across the street from the White House. They put paint on there and put a campsite out there. So, yeah. But see, again, Ken, this is why I am the only genius on this earth. So true.
So true.
You humans keep getting caught up on side trivial issues that really is missing the mark and taking the attention away from where it's supposed to be. So they want to listen. If you are pastor of a church and you have the typical white picture of the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus hanging over the baptism pool, guess what? It's your right to boo. You can put a picture of Shaka Zulu up there for all I care. It's your church.
Yep.
You do what the heck you want. Now, without getting into all the theological, exegetical studies of the Bible said God made us in his own image. So if you black, I don't have a problem with having a black Jesus up there. And I'm not talking about Isaac Hayes either. Of course, your audience probably don't know who the heck that is, but I digress. So again, your church is a private sector entity. If you want to have a Hispanic Jesus, a homosexual, go for it. I just can't get emotionally involved in the issue that absolutely means nothing.
Now, I put out a statement that the communists, Black Lives Matter, and Antifa, the radical fascist group that it is, are using a purity test at this point. And that black churches don't understand that eventually they will come under that purity test too. And a lot of these black churches of today were funded or started with the funding of J.D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, Harriman and his railroad fortune. And they contributed to Rockefeller contributed to two major institutions in Black American history, the University of Chicago and Spelman College. In fact, Spelman would not have existed without Rockefeller's money. So today they are considered racist. Should Spelman and University of Chicago burn as a result thereof?
Well, not only those who can, again, listen, I am really, really proud of breastfeeding you every time I think someone told me that last night, but I
I
digress.
digress.
Yale University is named after a not only person named Yale, but who owned slaves, but also he bought and sold slaves to the East India Sea Company back in the day. So all these Ivy League schools, since we want to take down statues and rename everything, why isn't Yale in the conversation? They own slaves as well. What about Harvard? Same thing.
Same.
So again, where you conservative, Mr. Port, you all don't make the argument of, okay, let's take your radical thinking and let's take it to its ultimate conclusion. Let's get rid of all these statues from the liberal side to the conservative and see how you like that. That will shut them up.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Listen, you've written a great writing, and it's called A Liberal Dose of Sports. A Liberal Dose of Sports. And I wanted to get your uh, the reason why you wrote this particular piece. Was it to point to the fact that there are injustices that still exist in these particular sporting institutions, or that they are as they were constructed to be and no change is coming?
Well, no, I think change is going to come, but it's going to be negative for the four sports league I talked about: NFL, NBA, hockey, and baseball. Each of the organizations, not the individual team owners, the league themselves have made a conscious choice to not be a hockey league or a basketball league or a football league or a baseball league. They made a choice to be a liberal basketball league, football league, except their motive is to push liberalism. Now, when have you ever been to a professional sporting event for Susan B. Anthony night, meaning supporting pro-life policy? When have you ever been to an event that was a heterosexual night? When have you been to an event that was named Armed Forces Night? When have you been to an event that was named Police Appreciation Night? You haven't, but all this money that's been spent is all to promote liberal causes, Planned Parenthood, the Cancer Society. With some of these organizations are good in and of themselves. But when have you ever seen a sickle cell night? Now, the NFL, NBA are over 70% black players. The NFL is 70% white audience, and that's why you see the friction going on. Roger Goodell, the commissioner of football, is trying to balance the 70% black players that are catering to a 70% white audience, and that's where the friction is. And again, I challenge your listeners to call up these teams and force them to start supporting some conservative organization. Right now, you cannot name me one conservative organization that any of these four pro leagues have ever aggressively supported and given money to.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I would love to see at the WNBA games a pro family, pro Christ uh, day, uh, but that would really interfere with the lesbian marketplace, most definitely. Um, I want to ask you a finality here. Donald Trump looks like he is behind in the polls. It appears that his message is not getting out to those in the urban marketplace, or at least the law and order message isn't getting out in the manner that he expected it to. He's been picked over at the Tulsa event. Uh, he has a lot of wounds at this point. Is this a sign that we're about to lose the House, the Senate, and the presidency going into the fall?
No, number one, it's way, way, way too early. Nobody's paying attention to these races until you get after Labor Day. Number one. Number two, you got to realize, Ken, again, is you keep drinking the liberal Kool-Aid. You are obviously being bombarded by these images from the radical left media that wants to give the public the perception that Trump is the sinking of the Titanic.
There you
And I
go.
have not done so thus far. So there again, you need to just continue to breastfeed, and I will tell you when you're ready for some Gerbers or Similac.
Okay, so it's time for you to put me on Gerber's because you're going to have to admit that 4 weeks ago, when I told you that there would not be a police reform bill coming out of the Senate or the House, going to the desk of the president by the end of summer, you said I was deadly wrong. Can you admit now that there will not be a police reform bill coming out of the House and Senate for signature to the president? Here we go. Can I get an amen there?
And I'm tired of you being gender phobic. I am gender fluid right now. And you can't get an amen or a woman. You can get an A.
I can get an A.
No, but again, this whole crime bill, again, it reminds me of all the shootings around the country, and everyone talking about gun control and all that. Again, people are going to pay enough attention to this in the short term. You're going to get a lot of attention, and it's going to fade to the sunset until the next incident happens. And so, again, you got the House and the Senate with such polar opposite bills coming through that I see no way of reconciling those two bills, and you're probably just going to get the status quo.
There you go. And virtually the election would be a referendum on local direction for policing rather than federal direction for policing. Am I right in that regard?
Yeah, but the media, again, they want to convince the public that police is a federal issue, and that's been part of the problem. You want people in D.C. to tell me what works in Idaho or in Illinois or in New York. No, that is a local and state issue. You let them figure it out. Again, when you get emotional, that's when you come up with the worst pieces of legislation. And sometimes you just need to just check your emotions and just methodically go ahead and try to make a difference. But all this emotional legislating never ever works out in the way that it was intended.
There you go. Just want to ask you, he has a series of rallies coming up. He's getting back onto the rally circuit. Is this the best way for Donald Trump to revive the spirit of the U.S.? And can Joe Biden win it from the basement?
Well, as I've been telling you for 30, 40 years now, the Democrats can't win, but Donald Trump can lose.
Wow.
And I still hold true to that. And the other thing with these rallies, Trump is going to have to do something different. He just can't keep going to the same old rural parts of the various states and talking to the same group of others. At some point, he's going to have to speak to some black and some Hispanic at rallies on a similar basis. And so he's got to broaden his base a little bit more than what he's done so far.
There you go. There you go. Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson, who is the chairman of Black Americans for a Better Future and Pulitzer Prize nominee, we love you, man. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
All right, talk to you guys next week.
All right. God bless you, sir. What a great joy it is talking with that young man. He is seldom ever wrong with me. But when he is, I like to bring it to his attention. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, right after this commercial break. You are watching not only a great republic, because we're not a mob, we're not a democracy, but you're watching the best in urban conservative news, talk, and movies, the Exceptional Conservative Show.com, TECN TV's best.